Alright, we're going to look at dating these Buck 110 and 112 folding knives. Now, to make things a little more straightforward, this knife here is a newer knife. It's from the mid-90s. I bought it new when I was a teenager. And this one also is fairly new. And this one is a much older one. It's pre-1980. So this is the literature that Buck has on their website as far as dating their folders and their fixed blades. Now, if we look here, we can see the symbols that go beside the model number on the newer ones. And on the older ones, for the 110 and 112s, it's a little bit different. So 1981 to 1986 has 2 dots on each side. 1980 to 1981 has 1 dot on the left side and 2 dots on the right side. 1974 to 1980 has 1 dot on each side of the model number. So if we look at this 112, we can see beside the 112 there is a stamping, and it looks like the letter C. If we refer back to the stamping code here, or the symbol code, it indicates that that knife was built in 1995. This one here, we can see it looks like a U with a dot in the middle of it. And according to this, it was built in 2014. If we look at this one, we can see that it doesn't have any stampings, but it has 2 dots beside the 110, and it also has USA below it. And another thing to notice is the bolsters are much more square on this, and it also has real wood scales on it, whereas these are all laminates. And you can see it's much more radiused. They all have the same configuration as far as pins and the rocker pins. That's another way of dating these older ones, which I'll talk about shortly here. So based on the fact that we've got 2 dots on either side, no symbol stamped beside the model number, we know that it's built between 1974 and 1980. Another thing to note about these older knives is that the wood is actually, I believe, Madagascar ebony. So we've determined that this knife here is a 1974 to 1980, or 1980 model knife. Now, to narrow it down further, I've done quite a bit of research on the internet, and a lot of people that are very knowledgeable about Buck 110s and 112 folders have, based on their own collection and when they've purchased knives, sort of come up with a rough guideline as far as when these particular variations of the 110 were built. As you can see, this has 3 large sized brass pins and 1 stainless rocker pin. So on these different variations that were made between 1974 and 1980, this knife matches up with this knife here. And based on all the information that I can come across online, it would put it between 1978 and 1979. Whereas this one has 3 small brass pins and 1 stainless rocker pin. And according to what I've found, 1977 correlates with that variation. Now there's this one here, has 4 small brass pins, and that seems to have only been made in 1 year, 1976. And then we have this variation here, which has 2 small brass pins. And according to what I've read, it was only made between 1974 and 1975. I hope that helps some of you that have older 110s that fall into this build range, like the years that they were built. If you've enjoyed my video, I very much appreciate the likes and the new subscribers. I'm planning on doing a restoration video on this knife. Maybe not so much restoration as cleaning it up and making it look a little more spiffy than it is right now. I don't want to change too much on it, but definitely dirty and grimy, and it's a little wiggly, so I'm going to try and tighten everything up, and hopefully it'll make an interesting video as well. Thanks for watching.